Welcome, mortals. And I see we have a few spirits with us this week. Good. We're going to make a raspberry fool. Stay with us if you dare. And don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends, be them dead or alive. And remember, stay with us till the end. Let's just say the ending is a killer. This coffin, it's killing me. Alright, looks like the rain's going to hold off enough. I mean, it's sprinkling now, but that's not going to kill anybody. So I'm going to pick some of these raspberries for Sue because she's going to make a raspberry fool, F-O-O-L, for dessert. So she needs some more fresh raspberries. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to pick some of these beauties. Take a look at these things. Look at how nice they are. Oh my God. It's crazy the amount that we're getting this year. This is the first year that we get, you know, this kind of production out of this, because this is only about the third year of these raspberries here. So I'm going to pick these raspberries, and then I'll meet up with you in the house, and Sue will make that raspberry fool. Okay, so we brought the strawberries in after I picked them, and Sue is now washing them. Oh, those are beautiful. Look at that. This is our best year yet on, well, what do I call them, strawberries?
No, you said raspberries.
Raspberries, yeah. This is our best year yet on raspberries because the bushes aren't that old. I think this is the third year, so it's really only the second picking of them. And the raspberries actually came in at the beginning of the year, but they were small. And then I picked them all, and there wasn't a lot of them. And then they were re-blossoming, and I said, oh boy, look at all the blossoms. And we got hammered with them, and they're much bigger. And I'm waiting to see what they're going to be like next year. So now the thing is, we need to use them up. So what's the plan?
Well, I'm going to make a berry fool. It's raspberries, and you take whipped cream,
So
and you...
Let me jump right in and show that. It's a raspberry fool.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go right online there, right?
Yep, I went to Food Network, and I picked up Ree Drummond's recipe.
There you go. So there it is right there.
Process.
Right online. Yep. And so basically what do you got to do?
Well, right now I just washed my raspberries, and now I'm going to put them in with some sugar, mix them all up, and let them sit for 3 or 4 minutes, and all the juices come out. And in the meantime,
So that's macerating them?
Yep.
Like you would do with strawberries
Yes.
or something? It's the same process.
And while that's going on, I will be doing the cream. And then,
Not to mention that in the meantime, you've stuffed 5 pumpkins because family's coming over today. And if you notice right there, there they are, the tomatillos that I picked out in the yard. That's going to be a little separate video, but we're going to make some roasted tomatillo green salsa.
salsa, yes.
And then we're going to eat that today. That'll be exciting. So we're putting some sugar in here. It's a pretty simple process, really, right?
It is very simple.
The only thing you need is all these strawberries, and that we have in aces.
Actually, raspberries.
I keep saying strawberries, don't I? I knew it, and I think I said it earlier. It's raspberries. We actually do have strawberries, but they're done for the year. They didn't produce as much this year as they did last year. I don't know what happened, but maybe a better year next year. The garden was really funny this year. It produced some things like in aces. I mean, whatever it needed, it had it. And other things, it's like the weather was against it. But I'm going to say this, and I've been saying it right along. I think in the beginning of the year, all these plants got stressed out by all the gypsy moth caterpillars or tent caterpillars that we had, and all of Rhode Island was just loaded with them. They ate all the tree leaves, and I don't know if you're familiar with them from wherever you are, if you've ever run across them. But what happens with the tent caterpillars is they're just everywhere. They eat the oak leaves. They eat the maple, they even ate the red maples. They clean the trees so that they're bare. And then, after that, they die. So there's a cycle they go through. I don't know, what was it, a month and a half, 2 months or something. And then that was the end of them. And then the trees rebud, and they come out with leaves again. But the leaves now are about a third of the size of what they were before. And, you know, it's not something that I'm a professional at, but from what I hear, it's like 3 years of that, and it takes its toll on the trees each time. And after 3 years, you could be in trouble. You might start losing trees to this. It's not a disease, but it's the tent caterpillars. So what do we need? Take a little break here and come back in a second?
I'm going to set up for my whipped cream.
All right, sounds good. We'll be right back. So one ingredient, a pretty important one we forgot to mention, is the raspberry liqueur, and that's going in there now.
Right.
Oh, that goes right in with the raspberries and the sugar. Okay.
That looks very tasty. Is that
Yeah,
blood?
I can taste this thing already. Now this doesn't get cooked, right? You just basically just stir it up, put your cream in.
Yeah, what we're going to do now is, like I said, see, it's getting all kinds of juice.
Yep.
And that's from the raspberries, and of course the raspberry liqueur I just put in. But that's what I'm going to get together. And then I'm going to fold it into the whipped cream. You don't stir it in, you fold it. And you make like a ripple design with it. I am going to use it as a truffle.
Ah, beautiful.
And when I get that all done, I will show you the final product.
So really, in the end here, well, we'll see it, but what do you want to do with these? You want to have bits and pieces and chunks, right? Not whole berries, but...
No, we're going to take a fork and we're going to mash them up a little bit, but keep some chunks.
Okay.
Keep some chunks in there, but you want to mash them up a little bit, which they already started.
Yeah. Well, raspberries, they're pretty delicate, really.
And I do have more raspberries that I'm going to put on top as a decoration.
We can spare them.
I think so.
Maybe you put a few of the ands on there, or are you staying all red?
No.
The ands are... show them one of those ands there. The ands are the golden colored ones.
And they're very sweet.
And they're
also.
very sweet, yeah, no kidding. Well, that's up to you for decorating purposes.
Yep.
All right,
All
so
right.
we'll get ready to do the whipped cream, yes?
Yes.
So a little trick to making the whipped cream is to what? Put your bowl in the freezer?
In the freezer.
But,
I do not have room in my freezer for it.
so
I'm
what's
gonna
your
take a
trick?
shortcut.
Yep.
I've got my bowl, and I've got my whisk. I'm going to add some ice to it.
That should cool it right down. I mean, it's only stainless steel. That should cool down rather quickly, right? All right, so we'll get that bowl cooled down, and then we're going to whip up some cream. So this is my job. Making the bowl cold. Hey, look at that, worked out pretty good. Look at the bowl. See how cold it is? You can see it on the side. If you don't have room in your freezer, boom, right? Worked out well. Even the whisk is in there, and that got cold. Well, while Sue is dumping that out, you'll notice I got a white hat on now instead of a blue hat, and I have a different shirt on now. I had a brown one. I had a red one on now because everything worked out all right with the tomatillos. It didn't really start raining, but when I went back out to get the raspberries, the skies opened up. And then once I was wet, I said, you know what? You got a task at hand. Let's get this done. And I got it done anyway. So that my clothes are all soaked. They're down in the dryer. All right. Get this baby whipped up. And cream whips up pretty quickly, doesn't it? What do you got to get it to peaks, or that's a meringue I'm thinking of?
No, we're going to get it to nice soft piece. Done, and then you can
So while the whipped cream is doing its thing over there, whipping up, gonna go in and well, what would you call this technique? Fucking the raspberries? Fucking the raspberries. So you still want pieces, but you don't want the big chunks, right? So what are you coming up with? Little tiny pieces, but
You're mashing it up to have it mostly in,
you just don't want whole.
you don't want you don't want a
whole
whole.
straw of raspberries.
You keep saying
I keep
strawberries.
saying strawberries is right. Huh?
You want pieces and bits of
Let's
it.
go make something out of strawberries. What do you say?
Yeah, not today.
Hey, we're gonna do something with that rhubarb out there.
Yep.
Well, that's a video for another day. This sounds like it's getting stiff over here. The whipped cream.
Not quite.
Not quite. It's
Almost.
getting there. So what are you running it on? It's like about 5, 6 now. So you're actually turning it up now that it's getting thicker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You couldn't before it was splashing all over. I have whipped cream all over my face, but I'm not going to show that on camera. That would be if I was doing this, but I'm not. I'm only helping. I'm helping by staying out of the way. Okay, so it looks like we are just about there, and how can you tell? It's thick, and it's making peaks, right?
Yep.
See that? See that peak back there?
What you're looking for is it's.
When you take the spoon up, it's leaving peaks, so it's stiff. Okay, perfect. So in the meantime, we figured that truffle, what do you call that? A truffle bowl?
Yeah.
Truffle bowl might be a little large for what we're doing. But what's the difference? So we end up with a quarter or a third of a bowl instead of the whole thing, that's all. We're gonna go forward, right? I bet you that cream's good. If you need somebody to test it, just let me know.
Here's a spoon.
It is good. All right, so process it. Oh, throw the whole thing right in.
Yep.
Oh, and then you swirl the rat. Oh, okay, I remember you saying that. Okay. Well, you know what? There's quite a bit in there.
Yeah, it is more than I thought.
Yeah, it's going to be close to a half a bowl. That's fine. I say anybody that complains doesn't get any.
Nobody's gonna complain.
Nobody will complain. Wow.
Okay.
Looks good enough to eat. Oh, okay. So what you're trying to do is keep the bulk of the juice out of this. Okay. I gotcha.
It's very juicy.
This is going to get very sloppy if you don't, right?
Yeah. This is my first time making this recipe.
Gotta start somewhere.
I made it before a few years ago. It was more complicated.
You had a different recipe. You made pretty close to the same product, but it was a different way to get there.
Looks good enough to eat.
It's looking good.
She had a video when I went down to get the recipe. There's a video, so I get to watch her doing it, which is great.
Yep.
Gives me an idea what to look for.
Well, we get a lot of our recipes from YouTube, right? We'll go on and we'll go to Food Network, all recipes, and just YouTube in general. There's a lot of folks that are sharing their recipes from their family or.
So you just want to fold it in.
Wow, look at that.
You're not stirring it. You try and take the bottom up. See, that's why I wanted a bowl where you could see. See, there's nothing there.
Right.
So I'm trying to.
Seems like the proportion of strawberries to cream is. That's the way it's supposed to be.
There's a lot of
That's-
flavor
Oh.
in the.
Now, what do you put this on? Anything, or how do you eat it?
It's like a pudding.
Oh,
It's like a pudding. But I guess if you had a maybe an angel food cake, you could
oh
put it on
yeah,
that.
yep.
When I made it the last time, I put it in little dessert dishes.
Oh, that's true, right? Yeah, you did them individually. This
Right.
time you're doing it here.
But this time we just did our groceries, and I don't have room in the refrigerator to put 9 dessert dishes because
Right.
there are 9 people going to be here today.
You think it was Thanksgiving, but it's just Sunday.
No, it's a Sunday family dinner. So then I'm just going to add some raspberries on top.
Don't forget to save me some.
And everybody's extras. But maybe I'll add more when I dish it out to them.
There you go.
Yeah.
You certainly have enough of them. Well, that looks delicious. Great job.
Thank you.
How it's going to taste? Well, I had the whipped cream, and the whipped cream was fantastic. All right, so there you have it. The
I
old raspberry truffle. Is that what it is?
Raspberry, well, it's a raspberry fool.
Oh, raspberry fool. I'm
It's
sorry.
from the English. Dee Drummond made a comment about it this morning on her video. It was named after someone from England. It was his favorite dessert. There's another name, I'm not sure what it is called at the moment, but as I make this more and more, I'll get a little more fancier, get a little more neater. But
Well,
today, this is my dessert
that looks pretty cool.
after stuffed pumpkin.
Sounds good. All right, so until we see you the next time,
We'll see you on
FergTV.
Thanks for joining us this week. I'm glad to see you survive till the ending. Now don't forget to subscribe. And this would be the time to share with your friends, be them dead or alive. Until next time when we meet on FergTV.